Hey, what's up guys? It's Steven from the Outerhaven, and we have first-hand gameplay for the upcoming remake of Resident Evil 3. Now, the demo is out for anyone who wants it. It's not a very long demo. It only really clocked me around like 18 minutes, but for those of you who are looking forward to the full thing, you shouldn't have to wait too long for an official release early next month. The demo opened supposedly very early on in the game. I was tasked with fixing a subway shuttle and resetting the power. Now, I do like this new Raccoon City look. It reminds me a lot of New York City with its subway lines and emphasis on large open roadways, not to mention that it loops into itself like you'd expect it to, but it also seems to have a much higher zombie density than its predecessor. Thankfully, this has been metered out with an extra punch put into Jill's kit. For example, you start out with a knife without any kind of durability meter, and you can shoot some classic red barrels to clear a crowd, or, most importantly, utilize the new dodge feature to maneuver past enemies. This dodge is pretty important from what I can see, since most of the streets gave me a pretty wide berth to circle the zombies. Using the dodge would let me slip between most obstacles when I actually had to face them, which isn't to say I didn't kill a lot of zombies. In most instances, it felt a lot easier to blow a hole in their heads, since most of them only take a handful of rounds to the head before they fall down. In classic Resident Evil fashion, they could still get back up after they've been put down, but with the stretched out cityscape, it feels less impending than it did in the tighter hallways of the police department. There are also some hidden goodies around the map. I don't know if this was just for the demo, but I was being pelted with ammo everywhere I went. I had around 50 or 60 bullets in my back pocket near the end of everything, which definitely felt like a bit of a downer since it's missing that classic Resident Evil tension. The zombies are exactly what you would expect them to be. Their AI systems make them feel alive, and they still have that shambling quality that makes them just a little unnerving. Though, and I hate to say this, but I feel like some of the animations have been ripped straight from Resident Evil 2. The demo is pretty short, so you only really get to face standard enemies and, of course, Nemesis. Nemesis is exactly what you probably want him to be. I was a little shocked by how many attacks they exactly threw into him. I was always a bit down on Mr. X from before because of how restrained he felt. Here, Nemesis is more than capable of closing the gap before you can think, and he's got a few tricks up his sleeve to keep you from getting away. He actually feels a lot more like a boss I would want to fight, even though he's actually pretty tough on his own. He reminds me a lot more of Jack Baker, since it seems like he's got these little conditional bits of code put into him. Like if he's in a certain spot, and you're in a certain spot, he'll perform some scripted animation to close the gap. Even the new dodge isn't enough to break away from him. Outside of Nemesis, though, it's pretty light on scares. And if you're a survival horror fan, you're going to find the game resembling the dreaded Resident Evil 6 more and more. Especially when you're adding in more dodges, more ammo, and those explosive barrels. This shouldn't be too much of a shock since the original game was more action-oriented, but if I'm being honest, I'm a bit iffy on this direction. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Resident Evil is getting too action-oriented, or are you more excited than you even were before? I'm Steven with the Outerhaven. Thanks for checking in. I'll see you guys next time.